I'm Will Christopher.
Along with Shane Lobano.
The NCAA tournament just wrapped up with the UConn Huskies winning the national championship over the Butler Bulldogs. Most teams in the tournament did not get a very satisfactory drawing when it came to the NCAA tournament, whether it came to rankings, where they played, and when they played.
I would like to focus on the Clemson Tigers. With first-year coach Brad Brownell coming in, it seemed like a rebuilding season with only 2 starting seniors. However, he led the Tigers to 22 wins, a record for a first-year coach at Clemson.
Now let's look at some offensive and defensive highlights from the 2011 Clemson basketball season.
Clemson has a very solid team defense. They block, steal, and make the other team's offense very uncomfortable. This great defense leads us into offensive transitions to score. However, Clemson is 176th in the nation in team rebounding, but they are 24th in the nation and 1st in the ACC in giving up only 61.4 points per game. Offensively, Clemson scored 68.5 points per game. DeMontez Stitt led the team with 14.5 points per game, which was 11th in the ACC. Andre Young led the team with a 39.5 three-point shooting percentage and made a three-pointer in 25 consecutive games. Jere Grant led the team with a 57.1 field goal percentage.
Now we'll turn it over to Will Christopher with an analysis of the NCAA committee selection process.
Let's look how the Clemson Tigers matched up against another NCAA tournament team. In this case, we chose the Marquette Golden Eagles. If you look at RPI, Clemson clearly wins. So if you look at strength of schedule, maybe Marquette wins because they played a tough conference, one that had 11 teams in the tournament. But since there's no direct scale the NCAA selection committee uses, how do they justify a higher RPI or a higher strength of schedule for rankings in the NCAA tournament? I'm going to acknowledge the fact that Marquette did make a good run to the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament, but they also lost to an ACC team in North Carolina that Clemson took down to the wire in the ACC tournament, and they had to beat them in overtime. So, yeah, if you look at RPI, Clemson should have gotten the better ranking. If you look at strength of schedule, Marquette. But since there's no set guidelines, how does the NCAA selection committee justify putting Marquette as a higher seed than Clemson, even though they may have better rankings and played in a tougher conference, but Clemson has the RPI, which everyone says is a big pull when it comes to the selection committee.
Now we'll bring it to Darius, an average student at Clemson, with his perspective on this issue.
What do you think about the NCAA selection process changes this year, and did it hurt some teams or did it help some teams?
Well, personally, Eric, I think the system's still flawed. I don't think there's no exact way of setting up the teams playing each other, because some teams are obviously going to be better than the other, and I just don't think there's any way of, correctly matching up a good schedule for anyone,
Alright, Darius, with the new selection process, more play-in games were played this year, and Clemson happened to draw a play-in game this year. They dominated UAB in the first game, but they didn't fare so well in the second game, and it appeared to be because they were tired. Would you say the play-in game had an effect on this?
Yes, I would say that, because I personally went to some of the home games that we played, and it just seemed like we were more of a home type team, I'm pretty sure we did better home than away, and I just think just going that far to the playing games just messed up our whole, the whole balance, I don't think they were used to doing that, and not enough sleep could have caused it, I don't know, just maybe distance, lack of sleep.
Throughout our research, we have decided that the NCAA selection committee does not have any set guidelines for how they select the table, but we feel like there should be changes made.